Hi, this is Ken Wolf, Artistic Director of Manhattan Rep and the host of the Playwriting Podcast, and welcome to the 3 biggest mistakes that playwrights make and how to fix them. On this video today, I'm going to go through these 3 mistakes that playwrights make again and again and again and again. And if you learn how to fix these mistakes or to not make these mistakes in the first place, you are going to be an infinitely better writer. For the past, 10 years, I have done over 300 script consultations. And in that process, I've noticed there are certain things that playwrights do again and again and again that simply don't work, but they're not told that it doesn't work, so they keep doing it again and again and again. And on this video, I'm going to share these 3 mistakes so you'll never have to make these mistakes ever again. Writing from dialogue. So many playwrights simply write from dialogue. In all those script consultations that I've done through the years, I can tell immediately if a playwright is writing from dialogue because there is no inherent action there. So I want you to stop writing from dialogue. It is a big, huge mistake. It doesn't work. There is no dramatic action that is inherently built into the play if you simply write from dialogue. And you don't want to retrofit and go back and put all that stuff in, or worse, have a director put it in when you don't want it there. So the solution to the big mistake of writing from dialogue is to write an emotional event map before you write one line of dialogue. Yes, before you write one line of dialogue, you need to build an emotional event map. And this is what an emotional event map is. Okay, an emotional event map contains all the action that happens between the characters and all the action that happens around the characters. So what happens between the characters, there's a fight, there's an argument, one character is trying to change the other character. That is where action is happening between the characters. And when things happen around the characters, let's say a glass window breaks or chandelier falls, boom, that creates focus. So when you have characters fighting, struggling, seducing, trying to change each other, there is inherent action, and that is what pulls focus on stage. That and boom, events when a chandelier falls or something happens on stage. That pulls focus, and that is your only tool that you have as a playwright to pull focus. A filmmaker can use the camera and zoom in on someone's nose, right? But you can't do it as a playwright. All you have is the action between the characters and boom, things happening around the characters, the events. So what you need to do is you need to write an emotional event map where you outline this out. You know, they're fighting about this at the beginning of the play. Then boom, this thing happens. Then they're fighting about this issue. Then this person comes in and they're arguing or they're trying to figure out, or this one is seducing that one, but some sort of action that is happening between these characters. It is so important. And then, boom, you do the first scene. And the second scene needs to top the first scene in some way. Okay, it might be amped up more or maybe go to another world or land, but something must be different. Same thing, what's happening between the characters. Boom, what are they fighting for? Boom, 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 boom. Something's happened around them, boom. Then you go to the third scene and it has to top the first 2 scenes in some way. The drama, the dramatic action needs to escalate. Boom, boom, boom. Same thing, what's happening between the characters. So how are they struggling? What's happening? Boom, 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 boom. What's happening around them? Boom. And then build this emotional map as an outline of the action and the escalating events in your play. And I know this sounds like a lot of work. It's not as much fun just sitting down, oh, I gotta write some dialogue. This is great, I love it. I'm so good at writing dialogue. But that dialogue is empty and dead because there is no action attached to it. And I'm so passionate about this because it is so important. You have to build action and events into your plays. If not, your plays just sit there. They're just dialogue. They're boring. You want to go to sleep. We want to run out of the theater. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake of sitting down and writing from dialogue. Oh, wow, this is great dialogue. I'm so good with dialogue. No. Write the dialogue from your emotional event map, okay? You start your first scene. You know what the action is. You know what they're fighting for. You know who they are. And boom, since you know what they're fighting for, you can write the dialogue from there. And that is what works. So build this emotional event map. Boom, boom, boom. Escalating action until boom, you hit the climax and then there's a resolution. But that's it. If you just write from dialogue, you're just not going to write a great play. And this is the truth. Or you'll be retrofitting your play, sticking action in for like 6,000 years, so you might as well write an emotional event map because it works. It absolutely works. So don't make the #1 mistake of playwrights by writing from dialogue. Build a comprehensive, passionate, emotional event map with action and events, boom, and write the best play of your life. Unspecific in their writing. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, what I mean is if you're writing about a plumber and you don't know anything about what plumbing is, don't write about that plumber until you know everything about what a plumber does, what his life is about, all those things. It's so important. So many people just write, oh, okay, I'll write this character, but it's so unspecific, it's just not real. And the audience knows it right away because they know plumbers, right? So when you begin to work on your play, sit down with your characters and make them incredibly, incredibly specific. Maybe somebody you know. I love it when people write from people they know because it works. But get very specific about all your characters. And then get very specific about the time frame. Let's say it takes place in 1980. Okay, what was going on in 1980? What are the events in 1980 that you can put into your play that make your play specific, right? Do some research and get specific. You know, on the music, on the fashion, all the things about that time period, right? And then get specific about the setting. Let's say it takes place in 1980 in the Tennessee mountains. Well, do some research on that. Find out what those people were like. Get clear on it. Get specific. The more specific that you can get on all these things, like the time period, the setting, your characters, the more specific you get, the better a play you're going to write. If you're specific about your characters, your audience will be drawn into it because they'll believe in your characters. If you're specific about the setting, they'll go, wow, I was there in 1980, it's just like it, and they'll get drawn into the story. It is so important. The more specific you are, the better a play you're going to write. So research, use your friends, use your own personal life experience. It gets super, super crazy, amazingly, insanely specific about your play and everything in your play. Everything. And that is one of the most important elements of writing a great play. Be incredibly specific. Don't make the second biggest mistake that playwrights make by being unspecific in your writing. It just doesn't work. Until you hear your play read by actors and see it embodied, you don't know if your play works or not. You have to do a reading of your play. It doesn't have to be a public reading, but you have to do a reading of your play so you can hear the words. You can get a sense of things and go, wow, that doesn't sound right coming out of a human's mouth. It doesn't really work. You can get a sense of what's happening between the characters. You go, you know what, I need to amp that up a little bit because nothing is really happening between those characters, right? So it's really important that you have a reading of your play just for you. Just get some friends over to your house and say, look, I have some wine. I want you to read the first draft of my play. I don't want to get feedback on it because it's in development, but I want to hear it and I want to see it brought to life. Can you help me out? Absolutely do that. It is so, so important because when you do that, it gives you so much opportunity to learn about your play. And then you take copious notes and you go back and you rewrite your play based on those notes that happened live. Because playwriting is a live experience. It is a live emotional experience. And as a playwright, you must remember that and you must have your play read. You must hear it. You have to. I'm so passionate about this because so many just finish their draft and then send it out and they don't get a good response because it's not done yet. It's not finished yet. You have to hear it read aloud because it is a live emotional experience, and then you can edit it, hear things, change things, and finish your draft that you're going to send out. So important. So I know, oh, it's so much work. I got to get people to come over to my house. I got to do this. Oh my God, what if they don't like it? I'm going to feel weird. Oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You have to. If you are serious about being a great working playwright, you need to have every single one of your plays read so you can hear it, so you can make notes, so you can finish the copy of your play that you're going to send out to theaters, producers, and more. So make sure you do that. It is so friggin' important. I cannot emphasize this enough. So I hope all this helps. Remember the 3 biggest mistakes that playwrights make all the time. And here they are again. 1, do not write from dialogue. The big mistake is to write from dialogue, so no more writing from dialogue. Number 2, playwrights are very unspecific often about their writing. You as a playwright need to be specific about every single element, every single thing in your play, and you need to be insane about it. You need to be specific, and you need to take the time to be specific to write a great play. And the 3rd biggest mistake that playwrights make all the time is this. They don't have a reading of their play before they send it out to theaters. And as you know, as I ranted and raved a little while ago, this does not work. You need to have a reading of your play so you can edit it further. You need to see your play when it is live. So thank you for watching this video. Listen to me. Okay, let me say that once again. Listen to me. Don't make these mistakes in your playwriting. Don't be like 95% of all plays that I read. Don't be that playwright who writes a bad play. Just don't do it, okay? So listen to me. Don't make these mistakes and write the greatest plays of your life. This is Ken Wolf, Artistic Director of Manhattan Rep and the host of the Playwriting Podcast, and I'll see you next time.